With around 3 weeks left until the local elections that are to shape the head figures around the country, the main political parties have announced their election pledges. For more details, we turn to our correspondent Ahn Sung-jin. Welcome back, Sung-jin.
Thanks for having me, Dami.
So, Sung-jin, the National Election Commission has released the election pledges for both the ruling and main opposition parties. Let's start with the ruling party. What are some of their main election pledges?
Right, so the two words regional development, that's what the ruling Democratic Party has been emphasizing for its election campaign, announcing balanced national development as its top campaign pledge. Now, what this entails is strengthening local government and redeveloping and reducing economic concentration in the capital area. Now, key proposals include completing their mega district initiative, which includes a 5 mega regions, 3 special autonomous provinces framework aimed at boosting region-led growth while expanding fiscal authority and autonomy for local governments. Now, the party also outlined broader economic and social initiatives, including fostering advanced industries such as AI and biotechnology and supporting youth employment. Additional pledges include expanding childcare and easing household financial burdens caused by inflation and currency volatility. The party also pledged to move forward with plans to establish Sejong as the nation's administrative capital by building a National Assembly branch office and a presidential office there during its administration. The DP also said it would push legal and institutional reforms with major budget measures reflected from their 2027 fiscal year.
I see. Then what about the main opposition parties? I mean, what have they unveiled as their main election pledge?
Right. Solving housing crisis would be the main opposition PPP, People Power Party's election message. So unlike the DP's regional development, the PPP has made housing stability and economic deregulation its top election pledge to address the housing crisis. The party proposed expanding the so-called half-price 전세 housing in Seoul and surrounding metropolitan areas. This entails offering long-term lease housing as roughly 50% of market rates, while providing broader tax benefits for renters. To increase housing supply, it promised to ease redevelopment and reconstruction regulations. The PPP further emphasized industrial growth, including incentives to encourage overseas Korean companies to relocate production back home, what it calls a Korean Inflation Reduction Act. Young adult-focused pledges include expanded rent support and extended tax cut for young workers employed at small and medium-sized enterprises. The party also proposed measures aimed at boosting disposable income for workers, including indexing income tax brackets to inflation, expanding education-related tax deductions, and introducing more flexible dividend payment systems.
Well, Sung-jin, now that all the election pledges are out, how is the rest of the election schedule expected to unfold? Tell us.
Right, so the official registration process takes place this Thursday and Friday, and candidates move from preliminary campaigning to officially registering to run for office. Now, once this 2-day registration period is over, official campaigning will begin on May 21st and continue for 13 days. Candidates will now take part in street rallies, televised debates, and policy-focused events aimed at persuading undecided voters. Early voting is scheduled for May 29th and 30th, allowing voters to cast ballots anywhere in the country with valid identification. The main election will take place on June 3rd, with vote counting beginning immediately after polls close. The competing pledges highlight a clear divide in priorities, and as both parties unveil ambitious policy agendas, we will have to keep an eye on where voters will weigh in as campaigning intensifies in the coming weeks.
Right, the next few weeks will be critical for both political parties. Sung-jin, do keep us posted, and thanks for coming in tonight.
My pleasure as always.